Guys, MIA puppet Joe Biden has resurfaced. Aren't you thrilled? He was missing. We didn't know where he was. I had my theory that he was just charging the camcorder, the V8 camcorder battery. That was my theory. I'm sticking to it. I think that's where he was this entire time. But he's back, and I'll be honest with you guys, he just put out a video. It's like 1 minute and 20 seconds. And I'm sure it's terrible. I haven't watched it yet. I wanted to wait and watch it with you guys in real time. So here we go. The true poet laureate of our time, Joe Biden. He's back, baby. And here's what he has to say. Let's read the tweet first. President Trump and Mitch McConnell. Here's the tweet that he put out with his little video. President Trump and Mitch McConnell are trying to put a corporate bailout ahead of families. It's simply wrong. We need to focus on helping hardworking Americans, communities, and small businesses, not handing big corporations a blank check. All right, let's watch this video. Here we go.
President Trump and Mitch McConnell are trying to put a corporate bailout ahead of millions of...
I like how he didn't even say anything like, hi, it's Joe Biden. Like he just goes right into it. He's like, President Trump. It's like he's like, all right, I want to get this done in like 90 seconds. I got my Mr. Rogers sweater on. I really don't want to be here. He does not look well. He does not look well. That is either really terrible makeup or he's sweating. Look at that right there. Looks like he's sweating. And he just opens with, there's no like intro. There's no, just President Trump. All right, let's keep watching this. Let's watch the whole thing.
Families. You know, it's families. It's simply wrong. We should be focusing on families. The White House and the United States Senate Republicans have proposed a $500 billion slush fund for corporations with almost no conditions. And you don't have to tell Americans where it's going to go for months. You don't have to explain what you did with it. The Trump administration could allow money for stock buybacks, for executive pay. Republicans refuse to increase Social Security at the same time, to forgive student loans, to take the necessary steps to stop evictions, ensure food and nutrition for vulnerable families. Senator McConnell should immediately allow a bipartisan vote on aggressive measures to help small businesses, workers, communities, so they reflect what they need and so they can get moving, so we can help them now. This is a time to help families, communities, and small businesses. People trying to pay their mortgages or their rent, student loans, urgent bills. They need help. They shouldn't have to pay for a corporate handout before they get the help they need. They need the help now.
That's a leader, apparently. That's a guy who can beat Trump. That's a leader, apparently. Did you notice something missing from that video? Well, I'm sure there's a lot of things that were missing from that video. But you know, a big one that was missing? A plan. What's his plan? Bernie Sanders has a plan, by the way. Bernie Sanders wants to give $2,000 to people, wants to give an emergency UBI to people. He has a plan. Where's Joe Biden's plan? When Donald Trump was saying he wanted to give an emergency UBI to people, why didn't the Democrats call his bluff and really put forth these proposals? Here's our proposals. Senate Republicans just want to give a bunch of money to corporation. Here's our proposal that involves an emergency UBI for people. You said you wanted to do that, Trump. Why didn't they call his bluff there? They didn't. Joe Biden has been MIA for a week. And he comes out with that video. It's just a minute of him saying, we need to help families and communities and small businesses. By the way, that was the big Chuck Schumer selling point. That was Chuck Schumer's big thing. Hey, we're going to give low interest loans to small businesses. This way, it's a win-win. The banks make money and we get our donor money. That's the win-win I was referring to. What, did you think I meant something else? You think the people win? Well, you got a low interest loan. It's low interest. That's something. Deal with it. Joe Biden. You think that could beat Trump? He doesn't even know how to do an intro for a video. By the way, as I'm saying this, I think I realized that I didn't actually say welcome to Get Your News On with Ron. Did I say it? Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Whatever. Hey, I'm not running for president, all right? My intros can be flawed. But if I didn't, welcome to Get Your News On with Ron, the world's first viewer-curated streaming news show. Lucy is asleep on her cat tree. I think she's tired of me being here all the time. I mean, I'm always here now. This is always when the show happens. But she's just like, why are you're always here now. I don't know how to take this. It's kind of weird, bro. It's kind of weird. Fair enough. But that's... I mean, I'm not surprised. I mean, the excuse they gave was that they were looking for like the perfect lighting in his house or something. They were saying they were having issues with lighting and they were having issues with live stream, which, hey, I can empathize on having issues with live streaming. I've been there. We've had times where the show has been delayed. We have time. I mean, well, today the show was technically 15 minutes late. Honestly, though, it's because I slept in. But we've had other times where there have been actual technical delays. I get it. But I don't have a staff. I don't have the resources somebody running for president has or anything close. I have a business internet setup and a black cat. That's what I have. All right. So by the way, here's the expert lighting. Just so this is what they needed a week to prepare for. That. I got to remember to do it opposite because I'm the opposite. The video is that way for you guys. This way, just nothing. What's over there? Nothing. This way, huh? There's Joe Biden. Joe Biden. Somebody made a really funny hologram. Or not hologram. They made a meme, and it was a really funny meme, and it was Joe Biden, and then there was a hologram of Tupac. And they said that Joe Biden has also just announced that Tupac Shakur was the VP nominee, which, by the way, Tupac Shakur would make an excellent VP. That guy was very ahead of his time socially. He was outspoken against capitalism. Rest in power, Tupac. And we're going to have a song of the day for Tupac coming up. Not today, though. Today's song of the day, since we did transition into music, David Rovics, friend of the show. He's doing a live stream every Monday at 9 a.m. Pacific time, which would be noon Eastern. And he's going to do that for a while. And I recommend checking it out. You can find him. It's just D Rovics on Twitter. You can follow him there and be privy to all of his live streams. David Rovics, he's been on this show a couple times. He has a song, we're coming up close to the first, and there's been a lot of frustrations between landlords and their tenants because people can't pay rent. People are losing their work, and we're not getting a rent freeze. We're not even getting a mortgage freeze. We're getting an eviction freeze until the end of April. That's all we're getting, and I doubt it'll be any more than that. There's a song by David Rovics called Landlord, where he brings up the history of Henry Rensselaer, which is essentially a dude who showed up in New York and declared a bunch of land was his. And then because of it, and by the way, Rensselaer is the guy's name, he had people pay him rent, and he became the richest man in the world, worth about the equivalent of $90 billion today. All he did was show up and say a bunch of land was his, more or less. David Rovics, Landlord. Who gives you a right to be a landlord, to live a life of ease while other people quarrel? Who gave you a right to be a rich man while the rest of us work this soil? Who gave you the right? Beautiful song. Look it up. David Rovics. You can find it on YouTube. David Rovics, Landlord. Listen to it. And then say, abolish private property. Anyway. All right. So Joe Biden, what a video, man. What a comeback. It's like when one of those bands, I mean, to stay on the music metaphor, it's like when one of those bands you listen to, they kind of disappear from the public spotlight for a while. Then they make a comeback album and it's like, ooh, you guys should have stayed disappeared. That's the comeback album. Hey, it's kind of weak. That album was so bad. I think the only way people want to listen to it is if you force it on their iPhones. If you impose it on their iPhone. Speaking of big fans of capitalism, Bono from U2 forcing their album on your. Remember that? It was a project to delete that freaking album from my iPhone. I got it off, though. I got that album off my iPhone. But it was work. It was work. So anyway, Joe Biden made a comeback. Joe Biden made a big comeback. Man, we went through that together. It was about 60 seconds of him saying nothing. It was 60 seconds of Orange Man bad. That's what they needed a week for, to get the lighting just right. Joe Biden. All right. Way to go, buddy. Unbelievable.
Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. You can tweet me an article at Ron Placone. We'll go through it together and make it our own. Get your